Right, let's get to some of the other talking points from the tournament. James is with us here at the Totem. That's what we call this wonderful screen. So what are we talking about? This is an interesting matchup here, isn't it?
Yeah, two strikers, younger, slightly older now, Harry Kane. I don't say that, but hugely experienced, isn't he? Look, it could be a battle of the strikers. I think for England's point of view and perspective, certainly seeing more of Harry Kane, I think is really important. I think listening back to the commentary of the game, I think it was Alan Shearer saying, you know, as a striker, you only need, you know, a second in front of goal, that chance. And he nearly had that chance with the header against Serbia. But England need to find a way of getting him in the game a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. We'll see. Interestingly, two players that could have, well, both were wanted by Manchester United last summer, but we know how that one ended up. Look, it feels like England could have something to prove in this tournament. They obviously are one of the big favourites, but tonight they could achieve something that they've never actually done before.
Yeah, which is bizarre even saying this, but they've never won the first two games at the European Championships before. Never before happened. The good thing is, though, the last time they suffered defeat on the second game, you have to go all the way back to 1988. Remember 1988? Marco van Basten hat-trick succumbed England to defeat.
And the Dutch went on to win the whole thing, didn't they?
Win the whole thing. So, look, the second game's always been a little bit tricky. If we go back, 3-4 years ago, the Scotland game, 0-0. Back to the last World Cup as well, 2 years ago, 0-0 against USA. I'm not saying it's going to be a 0-0 draw, but there's a potential that a draw could happen. But as regards Denmark, they've only actually won their second game once, and that was 20 years ago against Bulgaria. So they've struggled a little bit in the second game. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe something will change, or maybe we're all preparing for a dull 0-0 draw.
Well, considering the meltdown after a 1-0 win, I'd hate to see what's going to happen if it's a 0-0 draw. We've seen a number of young players stand out in this tournament so far. And could England's youthful players perhaps provide an advantage against Denmark tonight?
Well, it's a possibility. So much has been made about England's youthful lineup, third youngest squad in the European Championships, going up against the fourth oldest in Denmark. Now, I must point out, though, the difference and the gap, we're talking about 18 months difference. So that's all it is between the two. But maybe that's quite significant. And obviously, we were showing Christian Eriksen there and Jude Bellingham. You know, Christian Eriksen, he's still their pivotal man. He's the one that Denmark looked to run everything through, whereas England looked to run through a 20-year-old in Jude Bellingham. I think it's going to be quite an interesting battle between the two, actually, on the pitch, see what happens. But look, Denmark looked to struggle second half a little bit more. England maybe need to just press on in the second half more than they did against Serbia.
Yeah, OK, maybe Christian's going to be downing pickle juice as we speak after watching our programme.
That's what I'm going to do off air as well. Come back with loads of energy.
We're all doing it. Thanks very much, James. More from you to come.